Top digital photographer Andrew Brooks set the start to the well-expected annual Light Festival Spectrum, with his photography workshop carried out in Aberdeen. The 39-year-old artist came from Manchester to promote art in the city, with a goal to reduce the consumerist culture to a much lower level, in order to change people's perception of the mostly small town in the United Kingdom. Mr. Brooks changed the game in the photography scene by giving people a run around secret spaces in the city this past Friday, 13th of January. Given professional techniques, styles and theories on how to take pictures. He concluded the project with a Photoshop workshop carried out at RG's very own Meg Aberdeen. The workshop allowed the participants to work with light and composition inside the top of St Nicholas Kirk Church, as well as the foundation of the church where excavations were being carried out. With the recent downturn in the oil industry, artists around the city are taking advantage of this uncertainty to transform people's mentality in regards to the economy in Aberdeen. Examples like this are the Hatch, a newly opened workshop space run by RGU students to incentivise them to stay in the city and make an input in Aberdeen's economy. We spoke to Andrew Brooks about his goals with the workshop, the involvement with Spectra Light Festival 2017, and the importance of local workspaces for culture and art in Aberdeen.
I guess there was it kind of grew out of maybe a sort of slight urban exploring angle, but then evolved into always going asking permission, because then you get the people who own the keys to the building showing you around. So it's about kind of getting people to look at their own towns in a different way, in sort of a fresh way. So the workshop's great for that, because we take the group to some interesting places, and hopefully when, after I've been here, people start doing it for themselves, start making a few phone calls, and Aberdeen's brilliant. There's so many amazing buildings and so much history that you can just spend your life exploring the city. So hopefully it will get people started on that. And the festival, Spectra's part of a series of festivals that the council is kind of producing and organising, commissioning, and I think that is to kind of boost the cultural side of Aberdeen, which I think it's really important. Like any city needs culture for its residents, and also that it brings people in as well, and kind of creates new audiences and kind of brings people to the city. So it's really important. Like I come from Manchester, and we have the International Festival, and that's now in its maybe fourth. The fourth is coming up this summer, fourth one of those, and that brings loads of people to the city. It's a really exciting time. So I know in my own city that festivals make a big difference and spur on people in the city, give them inspiration. Places like this, 17, and make space is really important. It's all about resources, and not just like resources sitting in a university, but resources that are open to the public, so people can try ideas out, experiment with equipment that they wouldn't be able to buy on their own. That's the kind of, that can sort of lay the foundations and allow people to be a lot more ambitious than they would need to be. And this is council supported, so between this and the festival, it seems like they're putting some work into it, and it's the kind of thing that does make a difference.
We talked to a few participants on the inclusion and improvement of culture in Aberdeen.
You get the impression, I don't know if it's not an appetite for it, or whether we're not putting on things that bring people in. A lot of the stuff that happens seems to be just quite mainstream, like the big things at the theatre, which they do good productions, but it's all like very kind of mainstream, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of getting a lot of the general public in Aberdeen involved.
I think just the getting it out to the public and getting people to know about it. I think there is definitely things going on, but it's finding out about them is the tricky part. They're all kind of hidden away on different websites and different things. I think there needs to be some kind of public forum for all these kind of things.
There seems to be a much higher demand in Aberdeen for culture, and the city itself seems to be heading to that direction. Now it is up to us to promote, share and collaborate in order to bring the true colours of Aberdeen to light. This is Alex Walburn reporting for RGU TV.